Okay, well, we can get started. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our Geektalks number 33. My name is Alyssa. I'm the campus manager for 4Geeks Academy Miami. We have two cohorts graduating tonight. We have cohort 33 from our 4Geeks campus in Miami, and we have MDC cohort graduating as well. So we have speakers here too. We have Alex from GoGig. We have Helen from Collab. So what's going to happen is we're going to start with a presentation about 4Geeks Academy, who we are, what we do, and we're going to have our speakers go. We're going to have some Q&A with them as well, and then we will move into our project presentations. So I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I'm going to share my screen. And here we go. So 4Geeks Academy, we are a coding bootcamp. We are headquartered in Miami, USA, although we do have 10 locations around 7 different countries. So we have campuses in North, South, Central America, as well as Europe. We have a community of over 2,500 developers. 85% of our graduates are finding jobs in about 90 days after graduation. We have partnerships already established with major industry players, and we have been rated by a few different platforms as one of the top coding bootcamps in the world. So what we really are, more than a school, well, we are a school, of course, but also a community of developers. So via Slack, via events, via workshops, we are always there to support each other and have our developers have support throughout their whole entire careers. Some of those validations that I mentioned, we have been named the best coding bootcamp in 2021 by Premios Excelencia Educativa. We are among the top 30 worldwide bootcamps by SwitchUp. We average 4.9 stars in reviews across all platforms, and we are licensed by the US Department of Education. So our mission at 4Geeks is to reduce the unemployment rate, provide accessibility to education, and increase the amount of digital talent available. With above 2,500 graduates now, we achieve these results through 2 main platforms called GeekPal and GeekForce, which I'm going to explain next. But just 2 other quick facts is that 22% is the average salary increase that our students are seeing after completing the program. So although our students come from a wide variety of backgrounds, some of them have tech experience, many of them don't. A lot of people waitressing, Ubering, and in 3 months learn a new skill and are seeing a salary increase of 22%, which is awesome. And about 86% of them are getting placed in a new tech job within 90 days after graduation, which is pretty great. So as I explained before, GeekPal and GeekForce are our main 2 platforms that are available to our 4Geek students. GeekPal means that you have unlimited access to us for the rest of your life. So this is through mentorships, this is through Slack communities, this is through events and workshops, and just supporting each other through their continued career as developers. So our students have 3 ways to get mentor support. We have a community or a channel in Slack called Public Support, where developers help developers, that's what it's for. They have access to one-on-one mentoring sessions, so they can book those. And we also have global mentoring sessions, which are basically group mentoring sessions that happen on weeknights and Saturday mornings, where mentors and other developers can just get through their problems together in a group environment. GeekForce is our career support track. This is run by Adele Zapata. So her job is to help our graduates get jobs. So that's what she does all day. She has one-on-one meetings with you guys, helps you with your resume, with your LinkedIn, interview preparation, basically everything you need to be ready to apply for jobs, and then through the application process and the follow-up process as well. So that 90 days that it's taking to get a job is approximately 3 months. So we like to joke and say that you're taking 2 boot camps. You're taking 1 boot camp that takes 4 months that you're learning how to code, which you guys are about to finish tonight. And then you're going to start your second boot camp, which is your get a job boot camp, and that's going to take about 3 months. So the next 3 months, you're going to be putting in a lot of your time. We're going to be putting in a lot of our time, but hopefully we can land you that job within that 90-day period and get you guys a good salary increase from when you first came into the program. Here's a look at some some of the companies that our graduates are working at. You can see some of the bigger name companies at the top: Ultimate Software, Twilio, Facebook, National Geographic, Microsoft, Uber, and eBay. And then as you go down, you can see some more mid to smaller size companies, everything from small startups in Miami to national companies as well. Here are some of our partners that we work with. These could be educational partners, financing partners, communities that our graduates join, just different organizations that 4Geeks is affiliated with in some way or another. Here's a sneak peek at our speakers that we have tonight. We have Alex from GoGig and we have Helen from Collab. So we are going to get to hear from them shortly. And tonight's roster, we have Book Tutoring, Jessica, Jose, and Weez. We have Zenith Fitness with Danielle and Renee. And we have the Recipes Temple with Odette, Ricardo, and Cruz Daniel. And thank you for your patience and for listening to my presentation about 4Geeks. I would love to turn the floor over now to our two speakers. We can keep them in the same order that they were presented. So Alex, if you'd like to take over and tell us a little bit about you and your company at GoGig, would you do so?
Thank you, Alyssa. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having us here. I've got a short little slideshow for you all. So give me just 1 second. Let me get. All right. So as Alyssa said, we have been, my name is Alex Baughman and I GoGig. I am head of customer success, marketing, and strategic partnerships there. We are a startup, so I wear many different hats. We have been working as partners of 4Geeks for almost 4 years now. You guys may have seen our names around somewhere around campus back, when you guys were on campus. But we are so excited to be speaking at one of your graduations now. So thank you for having us and congratulations to all of you and all your hard work. I'm just going to walk you through pretty quickly about who GoGig is, what we do, and why we would be a beneficial platform for you all to join. So what is GoGig? GoGig is at its core an anonymous professional networking platform as well as a private community. It helps currently employed and passive job seekers or students or alumni like yourselves advance their careers confidentially through career desire and culture fit metrics using artificial intelligence that shares more of the elements that make someone up as a person rather than a job posting or a resume. Hiring professionals can tap into the private community and find a completely new group of passive candidates that they otherwise didn't know existed on Indeed or LinkedIn or Monsters Jobs through powerful algorithmic search. There will be no job postings, no applying, no keyword crawlers, and no resumes on the GoGig platform. So you don't even have to worry about keeping it updated. You heard me mention passive candidates a couple times. So passive candidates are people who are in a job but are open to hearing what else is out there. Our studies actually show that 85% of the workforce is open to hearing what other opportunities are available. And some of you, while you were in school, I know Alyssa tells me a lot of people have full-time jobs while they're working. That would be a passive candidate. That's somebody who's in a position but would like to put their desires out there and see what else can come and fall in their lap. How it works for candidates, job seekers, or alumni like yourself. The platform, you create your profile in 3 steps. So the first step is where you currently are now, your job experience now, what you might be making pay-wise, you may be a manager right now, everything of where you're currently at. The second tier is going to be your desires. So I am making, $50,000 a year, but I would like to be making 75. I'm a manager, but I would love to be a director. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I would love to relocate to Miami, Florida. The third part of the profile build is our artificial intelligence. We use natural language processing, and we have our candidates upload a writing sample. We then take that writing sample, put it through our AI, and give you a report kind of telling who you might be if you made an organizational move. This is the report that we share with you, so I wanted to give you guys a little peek into it. Over here on the right, you can see we have about 70 dictionaries built into our back end. We've chosen different words that might describe somebody positively and maybe negatively, just so that they can see who the person might be. This report really helps hiring managers look and see how you may fit culturally at their company. It might show them what is most important to you, And the most important piece on here is communication recommendation. So when a hiring professional sees this, they know, okay, I know that this person wants to lead the conversation. I see maybe they skewed really high in work-life balance. I can talk to them about how we can support them at our company. How it works for the hiring side. Hiring professionals come on, they build a search query based off of the position that they're hiring for. That search query is one-to-one with the candidate's desires. So all of those data points that you put in as a candidate, hiring companies are also putting in for a position. So that's how we make that match. When a hiring company finishes building out their query, they then will be brought to a match page, which you see here in the middle. Matches are based on percentage, the highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. Everything is anonymous at this point, at which time they will go through and kind of like a dating service, they may click a thumbs up if they want to talk to that person, or they may click a thumbs down if they don't. If they do want to speak to somebody, they then send an invitation to chat to the candidate, at which point the candidate can accept or deny based off of whatever reasons. Maybe they already work at that company. Maybe they love that they matched with the company that they see, and so they accept, at which point the hiring company can also vet out some of those soft and hard set skills. They then move into a message platform. It opens up a warm conversation where they can get to know each other, and then a hiring company and the candidate can decide whether they want to move the process off of the GoGig platform into a more formal hiring process. So why GoGig for students and alumni? We love working with universities, and we know that there are a lot of companies out there who like to hire, newly graduated students, alumni, people who have been in the industry for a long time. But the number one thing that we hang our hat on at the end of the day is anonymity. So our candidates sign up and they are completely anonymous. There is nothing Googleable on their profile. Everything in there is to give them a more fair chance in the workplace and getting hired. So it puts the power back in the candidate's hands, and it keeps their identity anonymous until they decide to have that conversation with the hiring company. The second reason would be just an additional tool in your belt when you're looking for a job. We don't expect you to use only us. We partner with some of the other job boards out there, and there are so many great opportunities. We just think that we are also another additional tool that you could be using. You know that if you get reached out to by a hiring company on GoGig, that it's because they matched with the desires that you put out there. And that's going to be one of the biggest reasons to come back, check in on your profile, and see if there are some conversations waiting for you. Again, I talked about anonymity a lot. So a few of the things that make us different from other job boards: it's a very low barrier entry. It takes about 4 to 6 minutes to sign up. Opportunities come to candidates without them seeing a job posting or putting their resume out there. Candidates, again, they're fully in control of who they want to speak to and when, and they know that if they're receiving a message, that it's going to be worth having that conversation. So why GoGig for hiring companies? It's all the same reasons, but just from a different perspective. So anonymity removes unconscious bias from the hiring process. We know a lot of time that people are discriminated against based off of a number of different protected classes. GoGig completely removes that option. It's not even possible to discriminate against somebody when you see their profile completely anonymous. Again, it's just another tool in their belt. We know they're using plenty of other platforms, but they know that they can come to GoGig if they know they need to hire 10 developers in the next 6 months. This is a great place for them to be able to start those warm conversations and get a good group of people to be able to interview formally. And again, the same thing for both sides. They're matching with candidates based on the exact same data points in their search query as candidates are putting out as their desires. The GoGig difference for hiring companies, the natural language processing that we use, our artificial intelligence, we're very proud of it. We're updating it all the time. And it's one of the number one reasons that companies use us to hire new talent. Again, hiring companies can remain EEOC compliant. One of the things that we're really proud of is that we are creating a safe community, a safe space for candidates and for hiring companies to come in. Candidates won't be discriminated based off of any protected classes, whether it's age, race, ethnicity, country of origin, gender identity, religion, disability, or veteran status. By being anonymous, it removes all unconscious bias in the process, also giving candidates the power to speak to who they want to and make a really good choice about the next job move that they make. That is it. I know it was super, super quick. I put my email up here if you have any questions or you would like to talk to me, if you would like any help, building out your profile, I am here. You guys can reach out to me whenever you need. If you forget how to, find me, you can always ask Alyssa as well. But this is a QR code. If you want to go ahead and scan it and sign up today, we would love to add you to our private community. And then last but not least, we have 4Geeks offers you guys a great partners page. We are going to upload a new video there from our founder and CEO, Chris Hodges. Like I said, we are a startup and we are a technology startup at that. And we are looking to expand our team and grow exponentially here in the next 2 years. We are a South Florida based company, but I myself live in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we have all kinds of remote opportunities. So please be sure to check that out. And we would love to add some 4Geeks graduates to our GoGig team. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you, Alyssa.
We're going to have a Q&A session right after the speakers. So if it's okay with you, I'd love to just move right into Helen, and then we can move into a Q&A session after both speakers go. So Helen, if you'd like to share about Collab and share your presentation, you can go right ahead.
Awesome. Well, I don't have a presentation, but first I just wanted to say thank you all so much for inviting me here, and also congratulations to all the students. You all have done something that's super, super difficult. So hopefully you all have a mindful break and feel really proud of yourselves for having accomplished something really tough. So again, my name is Helen and I'm one of the founders here at Collab. So at Collab, we are an online school that helps junior tech talent get real world experience. So I think for a lot of folks trying to land their first job in the industry, you're coming from a different background. And there's really a catch-22 sometimes where you sort of need the experience to get the job, but you need the job to get the experience. So up here at Collab, we actually offer a 8-week part-time program where you are essentially getting that real-world experience and learning by doing. So we do not teach how to code or anything like that. You all already know how to do that. But instead, we actually help you learn to build products, learn to work with non-technical team members as part of a team, learn to work with developers outside of the 4Geeks network, and just basically apply the skills that you've actually already have learned through 4Geeks into a real-world environment. So we combine that with giving you a team match where you're working with product managers, product designers, other software engineers. You're working with external stakeholders. You have an industry mentor that essentially guides your experience. And all of that bundles up into this opportunity where you're able to say that, hey, I'm still haven't landed my first formal job, but I have all of these things that are actually applied on the job, and I have the confidence and the know-how on how to do it in the role. So we started operating it back in 2021, and in the past year and a bit, we've actually graduated over 500 career switchers from over 25 countries. We have a 85% placement rate within 3 months of graduation from our program as well. And you can also now find our alum at companies like Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, and more. So that's a little bit about the program. If that's something that you're interested in terms of feeling a little bit more confident in your skills, wanting to just make friends and have some more experience while you're going through sort of the programming with GeekForce or GeekPal, feel free to reach out to Adele or Alyssa. They've already sent quite a few students through our way, and we're excited to be able to have more of you through this as well. Again, part of it is the balance between being able to job search while working on your portfolio, while expanding sort of your network. So it really is a good pairing if you're looking for some additional structure. So that's a little bit more about Collab, but a little bit more about me. So again, I actually went to college for earth sciences before I decided that I wanted to pivot into tech. And when I was doing that career transition, I had no community, no network. I definitely was just spraying and praying, and I think I applied to over 800 jobs before I landed my first role in tech. So I was a product manager for the past 5 years at Microsoft, and then I was at GitHub for a little bit as well before I decided to quit and found Collab, I guess. So again, I've sort of been in the same position of career switching or coming from a background where you don't feel like you fit the traditional path. And so that's why we created Collab as a space where folks can, collaborate, build confidence, build community. But it is also why I'm so passionate about this space and industry in general. So, I mean, obviously we have a presentation or a Q&A that's coming up, but feel free to connect with me either on LinkedIn or on Twitter. I'll drop my links below. Always happy to chat and share resources. But yeah, excited, I guess, to talk a little bit more in the upcoming 30 minutes.
Thank you, Helen. Thank you both for coming and both for presenting. I'm sure it's really beneficial for these guys graduating to know about these different opportunities and different platforms after graduation, which we do incorporate into GeekForce as well. So as you guys meet with Adele and are working through the GeekForce process, you're going to be provided with information about how to join GoGig, how to join Collab, and more resources too. So I do have some questions for you guys that I'll start with, and then we can move into Q&A from you guys too. So my first question for both of you is, what qualifications do you find companies are looking for when they're hiring bootcamp grads? Either Helen or Alex, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, I'll go ahead if that's okay. So obviously we know that they need you guys now, right? There is such a need for developers out there. They also want to see, in our experience, we work with a lot of different companies in a lot of different industries, and a few of the ones that we're hearing a lot of are they're really wanting to see people who are problem solvers. I know being at a startup, we have, a multitude of issues every single day that we're always trying to figure out. So we're always looking to add developers who can help us solve these problems quickly and then help us figure out a way to do it efficiently in the future. People who can adapt really quickly. Again, I'm speaking from startup world over here, but we've got different things that happen every day. We're growing our team. We're losing people from our team. We're hiring we have customers in all different industries. So people who can really adequately adapt to new situations. And then we want to see developers who want to become leaders. Our development team is really pretty small right now, and we've got, maybe one or two people who are leadership material, but we're always looking to grow different departments in so many different ways. And there's just so many different things that can be done at a startup when it comes to developers, but we're definitely looking and hearing a lot about people looking for more leadership roles.
Yeah, I think my answer for that would be really dependent on if you all are looking to join a smaller company or a larger company. So to Alex's point, I think when you're trying to join a startup, you're looking for something that's fast paced. That's what you should expect, at least. And so in those cases, it really is about taking initiative, leadership, communication, adaptability, growth mindset. Whatever you can do to showcase your ability to do those things, whether it's side projects by yourself that's outside the context of 4Geeks, whether that's going through pitch now, going through something like Collab where you're working with other people from different industries and different disciplines, or if you're just writing blog posts or building in public, or you have a LinkedIn profile to showcase, any of those things that will help make you stand out is really showcasing to the hiring manager that you really care about the role and that you're someone who's going to take initiative in those roles. That might be a little bit different than what large companies traditionally are looking for. When I was at Microsoft, I was also doing a lot of hiring interviews for my teams. At larger companies, you can probably expect a little bit more of structured feedback as well as mentorship. However, all of the core components of what makes you all a good team player still stands. So yeah, again, all of those things and being able to really talk about the impact beyond just the code that you necessarily write. So being able to tie it to, why do you want to work at GoGig and what are the benefits that you bring to the table beyond just the code that you write. So whatever way that you can leverage some of those things, relating it back to the business and customer impact will probably help you stand out in these cases.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. My next question is specifically for Helen as a way maybe to inspire students who have startup ideas and want to be a founder or a co-founder. What was the biggest challenge that you faced in founding your own company and how did you overcome it?
I think the biggest challenge was just doing it. I think we all have so many ideas. And I think as we go through our daily lives, all of these ideas pop up. I think it just is a matter of, hey, carving out that time, prioritizing it. And if you can, finding a group of people that are just as dedicated towards that goal. I think for a lot of solo projects, it becomes so easy to start them, but then never complete them, even though they're great ideas. But if you have accountability and if you have a group, which is, part of why like cohorts and boot camps work, right? Is you have that accountability and like peer mentorship and community behind you that pushes you to continue. So I think that was one thing that was really hard for me, is just, hey, forming that group to begin with. And then feeling like, okay, somebody actually wants this and you're really helping people. Of course, when it comes to side projects, even if you just help one person, I think that's great. It's a little bit different when you think about it from an entrepreneurship or startup experience. Again, I had a PM job. I was working at GitHub, and I quit to do Collab, right? And so I think there's definitely a large gap between going full-time on a venture versus just starting something. But I would say starting small and going from there, ramping up, finding a community and building a team. All of those are things that can technically be done on the side. And so that's what I would recommend to anyone that is looking to get inspired and do some of these. I also think that if I could go over or, redo all of this again, probably focusing less on the outcome at the end, and thinking more about even just the learning opportunity as you go, right? Instead of thinking about this $1 million exit, maybe just thinking about, okay, well, here are the skills that I don't currently have. Here's the demographic of people I don't currently know. And by building this startup or by building this project, here are all of the different skills that I'm going to pick up. And just being okay with that, because you'll always learn more as you go along.
One of the guests here actually dropped a follow-up question to that in the chat, if you changed your original idea.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I like the Slack. But I think, again, that is going to be so common. I think especially, I'm chatting with a bunch of other founders right now, and especially in this market downturn, everyone or a lot of people seem to be pivoting, right? And I think when you're at an early stage startup, and by early stage, I mean even up to like 100, 200 people, I think you just always need to go where the market is and where your users are. I feel like for some founders, they might be really tied to their product, but that's why through Collab, again, we have an 8-week program where you're literally building products or building, sort of startup ideas with a few other friends or like people going through the Collab experience. As part of our curriculum in the early stages, we tell you, hey, it's not about deciding what you want to build. It's about deciding the problem space that you're in and the customers that you want to solve a problem for. And those customers, there's so many different ways to solve the same problem. So I think it's more so focusing on that rather than the idea. But if you're asking, Edgar, have we pivoted and have we changed a bunch of things? Yes, we definitely have.
Awesome, thanks. My next question is for Alex, and for you to tell us about a time that you saw a candidate did not get the job and why you think that happened.
This is a great question, and I talked to my team about it a little bit before I got here, because one of the things that we thought about was it's not as much about what they didn't do. People are desperate to hire talent right now, especially people like you. They're looking for developers. They're looking for, front and back end. They're looking to grow their company, and they're looking to really be super up to date with all of that. And one of the things that we're seeing is where people are having more success. So I'll kind of flip it. We're seeing people have more success getting hired is when candidates are expressing their authentic selves, right? So, and again, kind of like Helen said, a little bit of a plug about GoGig, but you want to be putting your desires out there, right? You can change yourself and try and fit into a different mold to be at a particular type of company. And if that's what you want to do, that's great too. But where we're really seeing people strive and stand out is by being their authentic selves, coming in kind of off of what Helen said, having an idea of what kind of impact they want to make, what kind of industry do they want to be in, what kind of problems do they want to solve, So that's where we're really seeing a lot of, and I keep saying candidates because that's our terminology over here at GoGig, but that's where we're seeing a lot of candidates really have a lot of success putting their authentic selves out there, keeping their values, up there, and wanting to be a part of a company who share the same values, the same morals, the same goals, the same mindset. So instead of what they're not doing, it's what we're seeing that they're doing really, really well, and that's being authentic.
Great, thank you for that. Do any of the attendees tonight have questions for either Alex or Helen? We can just open up the floor to an open Q&A. You guys feel free to ask out loud or drop the questions in the chat. Okay, no questions, no problem. I'm sure Alex, well, Helen already has, but Alex also could drop her information in the chat so that you guys can definitely stay in contact with them. Adele and I have their information. We have them incorporated in our Geek Course process. So we will be sure to make sure you guys have all the support you need in order to stay in contact with them and take advantage of their resources. But thank you guys both very much for coming and for your time. I know it's a Friday night, so we really appreciate you guys coming. It's very beneficial to our graduating class to be able to know about these platforms and to hear it straight from you. So really thank you so much. But we are going to move into our presentations, which is the real reason why we're all here tonight. So first up on the list was the book tutoring app. So your team, feel free to take over our screen share and go ahead and present.
Okay, that would be us. Thank you so much, Alyssa. And also thank you everybody for coming, and also to the speakers for everything that they have shared with us today. Weez, would you like to take over the screen share for this first part?
Yes, I'll take over.
All right.
Hello, guys. My name is Weez Poliard, and we decided to build a tutoring app. My partners are Jose and Jessica. Well, I wanted to learn coding because honestly, technology is the future, and with everything you do nowadays, some sort of coding or programming is involved, whether you're in your car, using your smartphone or smart TV. These are constantly running programs. So why not learn coding? Sure, it's challenging, but it would not be fun if it wasn't. Okay, do Jose and Jessica want to say something?
Okay, I'll go next. First, thank you to Alex and Helen. I've already opened up your websites. Take a look. That's really awesome what you guys are doing. So I got into coding because my background is actually health and wellness. And even though the education requirement is very, very high, it is very costly to upkeep, and the pay is very, very low. I'm also someone who loves solving puzzles and working through those problems. And so coding is a natural fit for that. And in looking to implement my own programs remotely, even, I was finding that I was having to integrate just a makeshift of multiple different software programs in order to be able to do that. So I figured, hey, why not learn how to write it myself so that I don't have to have a mishmatch. So, that's what got me onto 4Geeks. Jose, up to you.
Thank you, Jessica. So on my side, I guess I kind of share a little bit of the background, kind of what Jessica just mentioned. My educational background is chemistry, and it turns out you don't need that many chemists in Miami. Mainly, That's not here. So my very first job as a chemist was as a forklift driver, to be honest. That got me into the manufacturing role. And actually, from there, I realized that smaller companies have a high need, a high demand for people who have tech skills. Actually, little by little, I started picking up Excel, Power BI, anything that could show data, present it in different ways, give you more visualization, and also, uh, besides the fact that you're standardizing data, that you're managing it properly. So my goal was actually what brought me to 4Geeks was learning to code, to develop my own tools, to be able to manage the data, to be able to visualize it, and be more prepared for today's market demands. So that's it for me. You may continue, Weeds.
All right. Get into our overview. Well, certain things you can do with the site. First off, if you could either sign up as a provider or a client, the provider will be able to schedule sessions, and the client will also be able to find service providers. The provider will be able to track their earnings and review monthly financials. Get into the site. Okay, this is the loading page. This is what would show up if you search up the site. Okay, give you some information about what you can do as a provider, and also what you can do as a client. Then you could go ahead and hit get started. And this is where you will be able to sign up either as a client or as a professional. Okay, I'm going to sign up. Put my information to make it quicker. And this is where you could specify what services that you want to provide as a provider. Going with that. And this is where you could specify whether you want to do it online only, in person, and also you could choose to do both. You hit signed up. It prompts the pro dashboard, which Jessica is going to take over. She's going to explain to you guys.
So Jose, would you like to show the client side first?
Sure, absolutely.
Marketplace.
Let me take over very quickly. I'm gonna knock you off from the screen share, Weez, so I do apologize for that. There we go. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yeah, we
Good to
see it.
go.
All right. So first off, let me sign up as a client. Actually, log in as a client. I'm gonna log in, and as Weez was mentioned just a second ago, we are having here two separate accounts, but one of the big features of this is our marketplace. Ideally, once we look at this marketplace, we're going to have a series of input fields which are going to allow us to filter through the things that we want to look for the particular service provider. Let's say in this case we have Justice Stevens, Maggie Smith, Sarah Jones. They all teach different things. They all have various methods, online or online in person, various prices. What we would like to find is something that matches our needs. In this case, we have overstacking filters that are actually going to help us filter through several of these inputs that the professionals have already added to their accounts. So if, let's say I want to find a science tutor that charges less than $100, so I'm going to put anything under $100. So from the existing matches, I found that Maggie Smith would be the ideal candidate for me. So let me go on and try to get here. So I would be able to see Maggie's profile. Now, so far, what I would like to do, if from the information I'm reviewing here, we have some generic info, a zip code to see if he gives online or in person, to see if I could attend in person. Ideally, we would like to see some description as to their tutoring styles, what the other services they may give besides just science. They could teach math, English, whatever services they provide. So if I want to contact her, I would just come here and send my info. And that would send Maggie an info that it would pretty much send my info to Maggie so that she could contact me. One of the other features from the client view is the client dashboard. This is a very simplified version of the dashboard that you will see that Jessica will provide you in a second. The client dashboard has only 2 views. Now, this app was created in order to solve one need. I'm not sure if everybody here has been in that situation, but it certainly has happened to me, especially now that everything is online. You give a tutoring online, or you give any type of service online, especially, that tends to happen. Then you happen not to pay immediately. So you start driving home, at least in my case, it's an hour traffic since it's Miami traffic. You get home and you forget that you had to pay. So that was the whole idea behind this app. So here we will be seeing what I'm seeing as a client here are all the appointments that have been scheduled by professional providers. So here I will be able to tell the professional or the service provider that I have paid. Now, this is going to send a message to the professional that I have submitted my payment and it's waiting just their confirmation. Once the service provider confirms, this appointment will be transferred to the confirmed payment. So that's the way in which the professional can keep track of what they have earned, and the clients can keep track of the things they have paid to their providers. In the other view, we have our current service providers, which are simple cards of the professionals that are giving us services as of now. And that does it for the client view.
Right, I'm
Jessica,
going to
would you
take
like to take
over
over?
for you. Yep. All right, so I'm going to share the professional side. So when we log onto our dashboard as the professional, you can see I'm already logged in. We get our list of scheduled upcoming appointments. And so here we can come and we can complete that we did the session, and we can confirm that it was actually paid. Once we do that, it moves down here into the paid appointments. If we happen to have someone that cancels, we just hit cancel and it moves into our canceled appointments, because as service providers, Jose and I both have run into this previously, having worked with clients. They call and they cancel again and they cancel again. You kind of want to keep track of who's on that list, right? Because you don't want to give them priority placing. So that was our goal with being able to keep track of the canceled appointments. So here we have our calendar view, where we can schedule an appointment. And we'll stay, and it'll go into this scheduled appointments list from that previous page. Here we can overview our money earned. And so we see how many are total scheduled, how much we've earned from the completed appointments, how many have been paid. And then in our stats here, we also have the scheduled, completed, total paid, total canceled. And we can actually search by day and month and day up here to be able to filter these numbers. So if I put in 6, we filtered to have 5 totals, and I don't know why that just switched on me. So that would be there. We can actually also see our client information. So we're able to see that this is where that information that Jose sent me would be. And so we can, once we're actually reached out and contacted them and set them up for an appointment, we can add them to clients, or we can delete them from the list completely. But as this little tag comes up, it can't be undone. They're gone for good. So that's where we're at with that. The only other page that we haven't covered is the account page, and this would be where they actually would come in and be able to edit their information on this edit contact here. So back to our presentation. We missed this slide here. We built this using obviously the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, React. We have some Flask and Python in there as well. Our calendar came from DevExtreme. It was software package, and QuickChart was our API that created the chart on the bottom of the stats and money pages. Our challenges. So this was our first time working with like a software package. And so trying to work with that calendar package when you don't know the specific coding necessarily behind it and you're trying to hunt for it, and getting it to talk to each section was quite challenging. And then being able to cross the information from both the provider side to the client side and vice versa was quite tricky as well. So, you know, and getting on to that. So our next steps. So you may have noticed on the marketplace, the little stars. We would like to be able to have it where clients are able to review the providers, as well as the providers actually rating clients. And that would be internal for the providers to be able to see, so that they can keep track of those good clients. And we'd like to be able to then hook up the filtering for the ratings. And that is about it. I thank you for your attention. You guys have been a great audience. So.
Yeah. Something I would also like to add is a quick thanks to our instructor, George Mihov, who guided us throughout the whole process. He was tremendous help and very, very patient with all of us. So
Absolutely.
I just wanted to add that to the comment.
Thanks for that. You guys did a really great job. You're getting lots of congratulations here in the chat. Even just from when we did the rehearsal till now I see so many improvements from you guys. So you have so many features, everything really flows well together. So super job. You can tell you guys worked really hard on that, especially with the calendar. That was really cool too. So that was interesting that you said it was one of your challenges, because when I saw it, I was like, wow, they did all that. It looks pretty challenging. So good job. Does anybody have any questions for the team? Do you want to ask about the project, the experience, the features, anything you'd like to add?
I would like to ask a question. So you said that when working with some of the external APIs, the calendar and the charts, you had some challenges, and there was some languages or perhaps some code that you hadn't seen. How did you manage to get that sorted out?
So honestly, George was a big help on that because he's worked with that software package previously and was able to give us the guidance, like where to find it in the documentation and help us hook everything up. And it was really just getting the specific format that they want from what the calendar is actually, just like it's an npm install, right? So you're working with that software that's written in a language, and some of the variables, like when I was looking through it, are like O and P and Q, and I'm like, what does that even mean, right? So we were able to go through and finally get that hooked up, and be able to have it transfer over to like the appointments page where it's listing out all the appointments. And Jose did a ton of work on that as well, like getting that to communicate where it was supposed to be. So it was fun. It was a lot of learning on that. So
Congrats, it looks really good.
Any other questions? Just a lot of congratulations here in the chat. Good job.
process before starting to code. So we really just brainstormed it, and I think I laid out like 2 pages in Figma style, being able to lay out so that we could kind of get a grasp on like visualizing. And there was a lot of create the list of, what features would you want? We went through and did a whole list, and then we moved the essentials over to the to-do list, and so there are quite a few that we could still continue adding to it.
If I could add to that, on that same note, Jessica, during the brainstorming process as to what we wanted, because initially we had a very rough idea of what we wanted. We wanted to tackle that need of I forgot to pay. That was the main essential feature. That communication between client and provider. Later on, as we developed the idea, we started saying, why don't we create different types of accounts? So that's when you saw that splitting. Why don't we create calendars so that the professionals can book their appointments as they? Why don't we create a way for the client to communicate? In fact, some of the ideas, we had so many ideas in that same brainstorming session, and due to the time constraint, we couldn't really add all of the ideas that were discussed there. Ideally, you would also want to be able to pay from the same app, saying, here's a payment. But again, we have to manage with the amount of time that we're given. And I think it was a very solid project overall.
Great job, guys. Any last minute questions for this team? Awesome. Well, congratulations, guys. You did it, and you did a great job. Team number 2, you guys are up. Daniel and Renee.
Wonderful. Good evening, everybody. I ask that you please excuse me if my voice seems lost at times. I am currently getting through COVID right now, so allow me to share my screen real quick, and we'll get started with our presentation. Alrighty, so I'm joined today with my best friend and partner in this project, of course, Renee Infante. And we were working on Zenith Fitness. We are a place that specializes in workouts, nutrition, and progression all on one site. And just some quick backstory. I decided to join 4Geeks because I wanted to sort of experiment a little bit more with what I was capable of doing. I've always been one that really enjoyed working with technology. When I was in the 8th grade, I built my first computer, and from then on forth, I really wanted to, experiment more and more. And I definitely wanted to have a better understanding of software and software development. And yeah, buddy, you're more than welcome to introduce yourself.
Of course. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Renee. I chose to attend 4Geeks. Getting a bit of an echo there. Do you mind reading the mic button?
Here, I'll lower my stuff here. All right.
I chose to attend 4Geeks because I wanted a career which would really support my ideal lifestyle while also challenging me mentally. That's very important to me. I do hope to be able to work remotely as kind of a digital nomad, because honestly, I do believe that no matter how much money you have, you're not going to be able to experience even 1% of what the world has to offer. And I want to experience as much as I can.
Definitely. All right, and first we're going to discuss the project as a whole.
Yes, so our project helps users find, our main focus for the project was to provide users with a tool to help them achieve their physical goals with structure, proper nutrition, and exercise tracking. Our program helps users find recipes to fit their specific macro needs. And of course, we also provided clients an easy way to access a workout planner, which helps them track their progress as well.
Yep. And why did we choose this subject, buddy?
Yeah, so we believe that improving your physical health leads to a much healthier and happier life. There are countless studies out there that show by improving your diet, it leads to a direct correlation with better physical and mental health. We chose to make this project now at this specific moment because the pandemic has really resulted in many people becoming out of shape without a clear direction on where to start, and we want to help out with that. Both Daniel and I have quite a bit of experience related to these goals.
Yeah, which we will talk about more later on. And real quick, just to sort of break down how this was built, a lot of this was used using React.js, JavaScript, a lot of CSS as well, Python for storing some information, and this Vernacular API. These have all helped with creating features that our website has, such as recipe searches, workout trackers, and daily meal planners as well. So now it's time for us to show you the real thing. Allow me just one quick second here. Right, so once our user goes into our page, they're met with this landing page right here. If you're a new user, you can register with this button right here, which will ask you for your email and password, and then you can register. Very simple. And then we have a login page right here. Since nutrition, progressing, and making improvements yourself normally takes a while, we're going to use an already made user right here called Tom, whose goal is to build muscle, which we'll see in a second. So we'll log in as Tom right here. And if you're a new user, you would click right here on your set your journey. And here you're able to put in your age, gender, weight, height, and then you're able to select your path. You might want to lose weight or build muscle, and you can save those changes here. And this will bring you, of course, to the My Journey page. The My Journey page has some general information about the page, and of course includes general information about the nutrition based on your goals, as well as an exercise program information chart, basically explaining what the exercise program is that we've recommended for you, as well as how it works, how the progression scheme works, and the importance of focusing on progressive overload. Below that, we have a BMI calculator for those who feel they need to use that. Here we'll have, for example, your height in inches. So we'll say, in my case, 70 inches, I'm 5'10". My weight is 165. I can calculate that here. And I can determine that my BMI is 23.7, and I'm a relatively healthy individual. Below that, we have a calorie calculator, which will be very important for meeting your nutritional needs. In my case, I'm 165 pounds, and if I press calculate real quick, we'll see that for my calories, I should be eating about 2,475 calories per day for my maintenance. But since this program or this specific page is for somebody meant to promote muscle growth, we'll also include that adding 300 extra calories will help promote muscle growth. Below that, we have a nutrient tracker here. Here, I'm able to input, let's say today's date, 10th of June. And here you're able to track and log how your nutrition has been over the course of several days, see how many calories you've eaten, and to see if you're on progress meeting your nutritional needs. So let's say, for example, I'm going to be eating today 150 grams of protein. Perhaps I ate 270 grams of carbs, perhaps 90 grams of fat. If I press enter here, it'll log the day as well as the macronutrients that I ate throughout the day, and it'll add up all the calories combined from each macronutrient. And it'll also tell me if I'm on track or not for my goals. If I was to have a bit of a cheat day, or maybe I didn't meet my goals necessarily, so let's say the next day I ate around, I don't know, maybe just 20 grams of protein. Maybe I went a little overboard with the carbs, 340, and the fats were just 120. Something crazy like that. Depending on your goals, of course, our website will let you know. Perhaps you're not eating enough protein and you're eating way too many fats, just to help you keep on track. Now, if we go up to the menu here and we go to the profile page, we'll look at Tom's profile. Tom is an absolute physical specimen who's looking to put on some muscle, and he finds that this website is very helpful. Thank you, Tom. He can put some very basic information here. He can log his weight, his height, and so on. And here is his journey, which is, of course, building muscle. Here's the workout plan that we recommended and built for individuals trying to build muscle. It's a simple 3-day split. A lot of the information was, of course, explained in the My Journey page. So here is day 1, day 2, and day 3. Below that, you'll see that there is another bar for logging information. In this case, we're logging specific exercises that we really want to focus on. So let's say I'm really focusing on going up in weight for my overhead press. So today I was working my overhead press, perhaps with a weight of 125 pounds. Let's say I did 3 sets and I did all 8 reps. Perfect. I have it logged here, and my load per rep is logged here as well. That way I can keep an eye on my progression, which would be useful in the case where the week after, let's say I was doing the same exercise, the overhead press, and this time I went up 10 pounds because I felt pretty confident myself. So I'll have the same number of sets as recommended in the workout program, but this time the weight was a bit heavier, so maybe I was only getting around 7 reps per set. If I enter that, we can still see that my load per rep has increased given that I'm going higher in weight. This is a very clear indication of progressive overload and progression overall. Next, we're going to check out the meal planner. This is a very simple meal planner that will work around whatever calories you input. So let's say I just need an idea for a meal to eat today. I need something around 2,500 calories. And perhaps you have certain dietary needs. Perhaps you're a vegetarian. We can filter the recipes as such, and we can get a daily meal plan here. And here we have a very simple, very nice meal plan set up here. You can click again, of course, to re-roll. The calories and macronutrients will be displayed right here. And right below, we have preparation time as well as the number of servings and links to the recipes themselves. Next, we're going to look at the recipe search. Perhaps you don't want to go necessarily through a meal plan that's generated for you. Perhaps you want to go find recipes for yourself based on very specific macronutrient needs, or to cook with specific recipe ingredients, right? I can search by ingredients here. Let's say I want to eat something with chicken. I can search right here, and immediately I'll be given a bunch of cards that present to me pictures of the meals, as well as buttons with links to go get the recipes. Additionally, I can search by nutrients. Let's say I want to have more of a low-carb diet. I want to have at most 20 grams of carbs in my meal and, at least 30 grams of protein per meal, right? I can find recipes here, and I'm greeted with some recipes. This Jade Buddha salmon tartare looks pretty good. And again, I'm able to go get the recipes if needed. And that is our recipe search. And finally, we have the About Us page. This is simply a page about the creators of this website. Buddy, if you'd like to say a couple words.
Absolutely. So, of course, as you can see here, Zenith Fitness was developed by a pair of lifelong friends, which I'm sure you already know, both of us now, Daniel and I. We created this site to help people live healthier, happier, and longer lives. Both of us have experience with body transformation and general fitness. Daniel has been consistently working out for many, many years in order to build quite a bit of muscle, which is how you can see his physique change. While I have lost, up until today, about 215 pounds. So we really hope to help people on their health journey, wherever that takes them.
Yes, sir. And back to the slideshow here. This was an amazing project. I have learned so much from it personally. And there are, of course, some challenges we have faced along the way. Me specifically, trying to figure out the way certain components work together or how they clash together, such as MUI, React Bootstrap, things like class names and so on, just trying to figure all that out to make sure the website looks very neat. And Buddy, do you have any issues of your own?
Yeah, I definitely had some connection issues while I was in Ecuador. I was over there for about a month during the time that we were working on this project. Early in development, our website was also just showing a very simple white screen after we had developed it for just a little bit. Of course, quickly we found out that this was due to inline CSS being completely incompatible with React, which was causing that issue. Once we started fixing that, it was quite a lot easier.
Yes, sir. And well, that's all we have to say for this evening. All we can say is get after it, get growing, and we hope you enjoyed our presentation. At this point now, we'll be happily taking any questions that you guys may have. And thank you so much for listening.
Yep.
Super great job, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Questions? Ask out loud, drop in the comments. Go ahead. Renee, you have a question if you are from Ecuador.
Oh, not from Ecuador. My family is, though. And so I tend to visit there quite a bit.
Quick question for any of either of you could answer. And once you're putting the maximum, like you're searching recipes by the number of calories, the target number of calories, is it always a 3-meal set, like, or does it search in a whatever amount of in a different how can I ask the question?
I imagine you're asking if it could be more than 3 meals or if it's
Right,
just
does
set
it-
to 3 meals. Yeah.
Right.
Right now we have set it to 3 meals because for most people that are getting into fitness, normally they want to start out with a simple meal planner to help them sort of get an idea of where to start, how to eat. And most people are used to having breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so we decided to keep it that way. Normally, when it comes to people who are more advanced or more or longer progression into their journey, typically they'll stick to their own certain meal eating schedule with their own recipes and such, which is where the recipe search would really come into play. Thank you.
No, thank you. Actually, great presentation.
Thank you so much. We
You
appreciate it.
guys as well, though. That was great.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Great presentations all around. Sorry, more questions?
Yeah, so first of all, congrats. The project looks great. Would you mind elaborating with a little bit about what the thought process or perhaps the early stages prior to diving into the code was like?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, sorry, buddy. Would you like to go first?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, buddy.
Thank you. Well, essentially, I remember in the beginning, we were sort of thinking, well, we really like eating food. We should do something having to do with food. But then we realized we kind of want to take it a step further, especially since Renee has achieved so much with his weight loss goals, and I've always been extremely familiar when it comes to the world of fitness and so on. We really wanted to sort of combine our love for food and our knowledge on fitness in general. So we decided to go with that theme of the page. And when it came to constructing the website together, we figured what are some of the most important parts about like embarking on this journey? Well, you need to track your progression. You need to be able to see what you're eating. You need to make sure you have proper structure. The structure and sacrifice that goes into these types of journeys will bleed into other areas of your life. So it's definitely something we had to make a lot of emphasis towards.
And to kind of add on to that, we also did use quite a bit of our early time during the planning stages, making wireframes, diagrams to really organize all of our thoughts together and to be able to clearly just start working, instead of just having a bunch of jumbled thoughts around there.
And if you don't mind, just to add to that question, as far as the technical aspect of it, how did you guys divide the work? Where did you decide to go with the front end first or the back end? How was that process like? If you don't mind sharing with
Yes, so definitely we went with the back end first. Well, we were kind of working a bit simultaneously. I did more of the front end. Daniel did pretty much everything with the back end. Incredible help there. So I'll let him answer the rest of that.
Yeah, Renee is incredible when it comes to front end stuff. He could make a website look very nice. I worked a lot with backend, especially having to figure out ways of working with Spoonacular API. And definitely a huge thank you and a lot of help we got from our professor, George, of course, who helped us along the way, trying to figure out how things went. But yeah, essentially, I worked for a good while on backend, making sure that we were receiving the data that we needed. And then Renee and I worked together to make sure that we were getting our components in the right place. And Renee helped patch up a lot of the front end, make the website look very nice. And that was kind of the way that our project kind of rolled.
Thank you. Good job. Good job,
Thank
guys.
you so much. No worries.
Thank you.
Any other questions before we move into the last project? Okay, well, that concludes our projects from cohort 33, which was from our 4Geeks Academy main campus. So now we kind of have a guest appearance from our MDC cohort. Not sure if you guys are aware that 4Geeks does have a partner program through Miami-Dade College. So they have one cohort that just finished up and they are going to be presenting their final project as well. So guys, go right ahead.
Hi, everyone. Thank you to be here. We are students from Miami-Dade College. We did the 14 weeks course, and we're gonna show you our projects. All of your projects are amazing. Congratulations. I can see all the effort that those projects are amazing. Sorry, my poor English. Well, let's do it. Let's do this. Ricardo, play the the presentation, please. Thank you for joining us today, Friday night. Okay, can you, Ricardo?
Yes.
Can you play the presentation? Yeah.
You want to see the project first? Is that what we're starting? Oh, so okay.
Yeah. No, play the presentation and like the slides. the view.
Okay, gotcha.
Uh-huh. Click on view on the top. Ricardo. Yeah, there. Well, our website is called Recipes Temple. Next, the next bottom. No. Before.
So it's Cruz, Odette, and me, Ricardo. So three of us from our group, we decided to come up with the recipe temple. And why is the recipe temple? There's a cooking website that is promoted a lot of culinary food topic. So basically, you can choose. Let's say you want to eat beef, right? And you have no idea what to make with the beef. So you have beef in the chicken. I mean, in your fridge, and you're wondering what can I cook today. So with our website, you can actually choose beef and or chicken or some other ingredient, and then they'll give you a lot of options that you can cook. They'll show you how the food look like. They'll have the ingredient, and
Here's something I found on the web. According to alla.org,
sorry.
try to use as many fresh ingredients as can because it
Ricardo,
will bring out a lot more
let me share
flavor
my
in your
screen.
food. And they can be a lot less expensive in the long run as well.
So I'm sorry, guys. I guess I have Alexa and it's a pick up my voice. So it will allow you to see the ingredient, and then they'll have the recipe. So the technology that we use, I don't know if you want to do that part.
Ricardo, wait a second. I'm sharing my screen because.
Okay, go ahead.
No, sorry. No, sorry. You're sharing the screen. Sorry. That's my mistake. Sorry. Let me share my screen.
All right.
Well, we decided to create a website because because we are food lovers, and a foodie always seek new experience instead of simple eating out or convenience or hunger. So this website has a easy interface where you can navigate. And you can find more than 300 recipes with recipes that are simple and easy to make. In our team, we have Cruz. He cannot. He's not doing the presentation because he's not talking English too much. So that's why only Ricardo and me were doing the presentation. Well, I'm Odette. One of the reasons why I decided to study web development is because the technological world is in constant development, and as a web developer, there's always be some area of work in which you could be useful. It also has many branches in which you could specialize, such as web page, apps, or softwares. And we have Ricardo. Ricardo, go ahead.
That's the same for me. Is that I'm in school for engineering, and
most likely I'm looking into the tech world, and I have some of my landlord that already in the industry, and they tell me it's a really good field and it's only getting better. So I'm trying to get in it as fast as possible. So in the future, if I want to use that technology as my background, so if I start working in it by the time I graduated, that's the experience that I will have. And 4Gig was really good by providing that course, it's affordable, and we love it.
Yes,
Thank you.
totally. Thank you. We choose a recipe website because a recipe website you can have a lot of advertising for restaurants, kitchen products, food brands, catering services, and everything else in the industry. So it's a good business to have a recipe website or a foodie website. Or well, the technologies that we use was HTML, JavaScript, React, Firebase, API, Fetch, CSS, Bootstrap. And if you want to talk, Ricardo, because
Can you press next? Can you press next on your end?
okay. Well,
so basically, this is go back.
Let me you share your screen and show the website, Ricardo. Share your screen.
So this is how I made my site. It's built, so there's a sign up page, and there's a login page. I mean, you can log in also. And then this is the recipes, which is
you cannot show the website?
I can show it right now. So so this is the sign up page, which I will start with.
No, but okay, perfect. Yes,
I will sign up. So I'm ready with Samuel Brown. Samuel Brown will sign up into a project, and then this will be the main page, and from there he can go to the recipe by category. So this is beef. We have chicken, dessert, lamb. This is we have pasta, pork, and others. We have a side one. We have starter. We have vegan. We have vegetarian food also. So breakfast and if you love goat, so that's you can go on there. So let's say we have chicken at home, and you're wondering what meal can you do today, and you can see all the recipe if you click on chicken. So we'll have several options for you that you can go, and you can scroll down on everything and see which one you prefer to eat today, and from there you can click on it. That'll take you to
it's not let me do it. Let me do it. Sorry.
Sorry, guys. That will take over.
Yeah. Wait a second. Second.
So in the meantime, while Odette is sharing the screen, so
Just
so
running,
we just
I'm running the website. Yeah.
this is the outside of the website. This is how it look. We use the visual design and interactive chat. And so while Odette is trying to do, so we had many challenges in doing the project. So we had to come up with step by step. So because we were using the API. So
I'm trying to have access to the categories. Huh?
When you're ready, let me know. I'll just explain it for now.
It's because I'm trying to show the. Oh, you share your screen again. Sorry, Ricardo. I'm having problems. Try to show the categories and the recipes and everything, please. Or the pages. Okay. Yeah, I can see it. All right.
So we were in the first one, so I click on it, and from there we have the chicken ingredient for the meal, and we have the instructions and every step of it from finish to end. In the future, we might look into add calories because we know a lot of people are doing Weight Watchers today. We'll have that in the future for people to know. If you're gonna choose a meal, you want to know how many calories is in there. Unfortunately, we don't have it now, but in the future we'll too. And so they have a chicken mushroom hot pot. So and they have the ingredients and the instruction. So this is the basics of everything that we have.
Can you go back?
Can you go back?
Yes, to see the categories.
Okay, so we'll go back to the category. So we have dessert. So
because it's freezing. It's freezing there.
I'm sorry, sometimes my internet is having issue when logging, so I'm apologizing. So if it take a time to show. Can everybody see the page? What can you see it?
No, we see the
Can you see it?
Yeah.
So
well, we have different categories by the main ingredient, and then we have the recipe with all the ingredients and the tags, everything. So we have another page which is contact us. Can you show it, Ricardo, please?
So for this one in the future, we'll have that right now we have that as you put your name, you put your email, you write us. In the future, the main goal of this website is in the future, we just don't want to give the customers our options. In the future, somebody want to add a recipe, will be open to review that recipe. If we don't have it in there, we can find a way to add that recipe for that customer. So it's for everybody. So we want everybody to come in on our website, find something to eat, and you don't have to. There's a lot of people that's like, this day, a lot of young people, they don't know how to cook. Especially me, I'm not a good cooker, so a website like that, I can go and choose a meal And I mean, I have lamb, and I want to eat lamb. I have it a couple of times, but I don't know how many things I can make with. But on the website, I can go here and find several options.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So if
that's
one sponsor wants to contact us to put some advertising, or they can contact us to add a recipe, you know, they can write us in the page, and we're gonna help them. I'm gonna show my screen again. Well, we show you guys our website. It's very simple, but it's a good source of income too, to have some sponsors and everything. The main challenges that we faced when we developed the project was the visual design, the compensation, and the interactivity. Mostly the visual designs, because a good visual design offers a good user experience and navigation. So this involves working on things like the choice of colors, the page layout, the position of visual elements, navigability, usability. Obviously, programming is something that is difficult too, but is something that we enjoy in it as well. How we faced the coding challenges? Well, first, we try to understand the problem. Step 2, we create a step-by-step plan for how to solve that problem. Step 3, we carry out the plan and write the actual code that we have. And then we try to look back and possibly the refactor of the solution that could work. What was the hardest part to develop? Well, obviously handle data is one of the hardest parts to get rid of any application, web or not. There are just so many places for something to go wrong that it becomes really hard to ensure that your app is really secure. Even in big companies can fall prey to an insecure authentication system, leading to awkward things like data breaches, which is turn lends to other nasty stuff like lawsuits, which I'm pretty sure like you want to avoid. The new features that we would like to add to the app in the future will be the option to add recipes, the option to save favorite recipes, and the option to add and review and rate recipes. Thank you very much.
Nice job, guys.
And guys, if you have any remark, questions,
Hello.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Cruz, and my next challenge is improve my English. But if you allow me to explain something in Spanish, I will do it. Right? ¿Está bien?
Okay.
¿Puedo explicar algo en español del sitio? Porque yo también hice algo en el trabajo, ¿no? En el proyecto. Te quería explicar algo en español. Algo que quiero resaltar del sitio es que, como estamos en Miami, hay una gran diversidad de culturas y de lenguajes. Y es un sitio que los tenemos pensado presentar a los restaurantes, a jefes de cocina y chefs, para que ellos puedan guardar ahí en su propia base de datos recetas propias. E incluso, más allá, podemos hacer procedimientos futuros para las mismas personas y puedan también guardar allí sus propias recetas. Quería explicar eso y mencionar eso. Gracias.
Thank you, Cruz.
Okay, Cruz.
Thank you, everyone, to
Cruz was
for your
very helpful.
attention.
I know the English is not as good, but
Yes,
Cruz was very helpful.
Ricardo is from Haiti.
He was very helpful.
I'm from
Thank you.
Venezuela, and Cruz from Venezuela too, and Ricardo is from Haiti. And thank you for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good job on your presentation. Thank you for presenting. Okay, so that concludes all of our projects. So now what happens next? So today's Friday, you guys just graduated. So I hope you guys are going to celebrate tonight, maybe have a drink, enjoy your weekend. And then next week, we will start your career support. So keep an eye out for any messages that are coming from Adele or Valentina from our career support team or from myself. But before we do that, just a big congratulations. You guys pushed through. You made it all 16 weeks. You guys did a great job on your final projects. You made it through the painful project presentations. And now you have Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday to celebrate with your friends, with your family. So just a big congratulations. Thank you for being a part of 4Geeks. Thank you for trusting in us and our methodology and finishing your program. You guys did a really great job. So I wish you all a super happy weekend. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything important in the chat here. Just lots of congratulations. So good job. Woohoo, congrats to all. And we will be in contact with you guys soon. But just congrats and enjoy your weekend, everybody. So see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Everyone, good job.
Congratulations, everyone.
Congrats, everyone.